How are we doing? Where is my, there we go. Previously on Kimba TV. Yeah, so that's about it. If you're bullish, you would want to come down and clean this. If you're bullish, you would want to come down and clean that. I mean, I would. And then if you're bearish, if I was bearish, I would want this to pop, sweep, and then come down. If it closes back below in this range, it's probably a swing fail. It's gonna rotate all the way to clean this. All right, how we doing? Y'all juicing my Gucci on them. All right, y'all, US markets are open. Let's take a look at the damn thing today, man. Good morning, good morning. Let's go, y'all, let's get nasty on them, y'all. How we doing, Lions? Happy Thursday. All right, any questions? We looked at CME, we looked at Bugammas. I would be interested to see this data, but this data always is slow as fuck, you know? We're watching order flow. We got this, we got this, got this, got this. You guys all good? You guys excited for another day to prove to yourself that we can juice? Midson says, say hola to me, hermano. Hola, cabron. No mames, cabron. Timo says, based on current data, are you leaning bearish or bullish? You tell me, Tim. We're all looking at the same shit. I think it's pretty obvious. But what specific data? Okay, Tim, let me ask you this. What specific data do you need help looking at? Can you look at this and tell me if it's bullish or bearish? Can you look at open interest, or can you tell me if there was a CVD div? I don't know what you don't know. So we already talked about all the different edges that actually played out already. So I'm gonna assume most of you guys, most of us are in a 58,000 long. Like when it broke above here, it's level to level. So I don't know what you don't know. Like the most obvious trade, if I had to guess what you guys are in, I'm going to assume that you guys are in a long from this zone. It's level to level. Some of you guys might be, you know, looking to short this or a partial fill of the single print. So you tell me, Timo, what do you have? Because I can't hold your hand every single day. And even the question is kind of asked too. Are you leaning bullish or bearish? I don't know what time frame you're talking about. Do you understand that I'm planning more for options expirations tomorrow? Have you been hearing about my Home Depot and Walmart spiel? Why am I watching this? Why did I start looking at this? So hit me up with a better question so I can actually help you. But even that question kind of just tells me you have literally no idea. Maybe it's better to start with, how do you read the data? That's why I said, is there one particular thing you want help reading? Yeah, but we're all looking at the same shit. So why don't you start with what edge you're anticipating, or yeah, even like a daily open sweep of the longing the daily open sweep. That's not a bad idea. If you're looking for a short, I would highly recommend rewatching the highlights where Alpizi asked, hey, where can we get back into a short? All right, and you can hear me tell LPZ, hey man, I think you already missed the short. You may want to start looking for longs tonight. So that was yesterday. All right. So make sure you get caught up. Yeah, for me, like nothing has changed since yesterday. Nothing has changed. So you tell me, I mean, were you here when we looked at the Bugammas, my boy? And I put these up there? So I don't know what you don't know, but we're all looking at the same shit. I think it's pretty obvious, but if you can't look at something and tell me if it's bullish or bearish leaning, let me know so we can talk about it. All right. It's literally just, it's almost like we paused the price action and then I resumed it when I just got back here. So kind of listen to all the stuff that we talked about. You can hear me tell LPZ, hey man, I don't know if you want to keep looking for shorts. You might want to look for more longs today. And then we even talked about if you do want to try to get into a short, what you might be looking for. So the levels are all the same. None of that has changed. So the question is can you read the data? Can you read the data and tell me, oh, it is actually reacting a little bit bearishly there. That single print partial fill short might be worth it. Or can you say, holy fuck, this is a little bit too bullish for me. I can't short that. So identify your levels of interest, okay? And just read the data as it moves towards it. All right, Timo, let me know if you have any questions, my boy. We got a juice today, my boy. Yeah, so some of you guys are, I stopped the music for a second. I said this last night too. Some of y'all are looking for longs. And I think about this, Timo. I said this last night before I dipped. Some of y'all are looking for longs. How many people are looking for longs? And we talked about it. I said, how many people are looking for shorts? And we talked about it. If you think about what we said last night, did any of those levels change? The only thing that changed a little bit is it went down first. So if this happens first, then we do this plan gets adjusted. But the levels are exactly where we've had them for the last couple weeks. Yeah, so you're just going to read data now and see if you have a reason to short at that level or long at that level. That's about it. How many people are in that long down around that 58? How many people are like, fuck, I didn't see that edge? How many people are still looking for longs? How many people are looking for shorts? And do you remember how I said I would play longing or shorting? If you're longing, for example, down here, do you remember when I took this first long? What did I say the purpose of that long would be? It's just this. You're betting that it's going to hold as support and rotate to the other side. So anytime it deviates like that, that's an okay long. So you're just bet if you think it's going to be able to reclaim 60,000 and turn it into support and eventually reach the other side of value. Or if you think it's not going to be able to get back into 60,000 value and we're going to rotate to the lower side. And just manage risk and have fun with it. So I would use that higher time frame idea, that home run setup, and then work my way into smaller time frames. And fuck, if I see a CVD bull div, I'm going to probably take that hoe. If you see any sort of reason to take it, you should take it and then just protect your capital. Assume that you're going to get round tripped, break even. I don't really get caught up on the smaller time frame stuff. So yeah, I probably won't be that much of a help on like 5-minute levels, but If you're looking for a short scripted, 59 is like a very important level that you have to claim. So let's say, for example, you don't even get to the 0.5. You don't even get to the 59.8. You don't even start eating the single prints. You could maybe, if it like fails auctions to get back above 59, that could potentially be like a rotation back down. I would just look for edge. You know what I mean? So some people are going to try to take that stop loss there. And that's even an easier trade because you don't want to be the guy that gets stopped out of the single print. So you're going to get stopped out before the single prints start. Some people are going to do that. Some people might be a little bit more bullish. So they're not going to do anything until this breaks and there's a bearish retest at 59. Some people are going to be waiting for a long, so they don't want a failed auction. They just want a loose break, come back, make another higher low. You know, that's your value area low. So just rotating from value area high, value bing, 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 bing is pretty normal, right? So if it deviates outside, you know, those are the ones that you might want to short or long. Lots of different setups. It's good. It's still going to come down to, oh shit, is that a good long? Being able to read the data. Oh, is that a good short? Being able to read the data. Anybody can figure out where they might want to long or short. Being able to actually read the data and know that it's a good bet is a whole different story, right? That's the hard part. So lots of opportunities. You know, the levels really haven't changed and the way that we read data hasn't changed. So it's really just a continuation off of last night. I think the only thing that might be different is maybe some of you guys have that 58K long. That's about it. And then, you know, when Alpeasy was asking, hey, when do you think we can get into a short? You can hear it in my voice. I go, I don't know if you want to look for a short now. I think maybe looking for longs might be a little bit more statistically advantageous. So, you know, like understanding when you should look for longs, when you should look for shorts is also a little bit of a skill too. So, you know, just do your best. If you're constantly here to just do whatever I'm going to do, then you're never going to learn and eventually you're going to lose all your money. So use this opportunity to identify levels that you like, formulate some plans on your own. And if you do have a question, hey, what about a long here? Hey, what about a short here? You don't even need to tell me the levels really. Why don't you tell me the edge? You know, like a good question, instead of asking, hey, what about a long here? I think a better question would be like, do you think 20 million in longs getting squeezed out would be good enough to try to take a long there again? You know, I'm anticipating a CVD hidden bull div if it comes back down here. Do you think there's a chance for that, Kimba? You know, shit like that. Yeah. Anonymous says, where is the next Bugama level? Definitely rewind and get caught up on the different stuff, like the little comments that I gave. But here's the Bugamas. Anonymous. So this is how I drew them. Bugama. Like this. What is the highest probable outcome for S&P as of now? It should get pulled towards 55.60 and ideally close below it. So throughout the day, as long as the Bugamas stay like this, it's going to try to pull it to 55.60. Okay, but the daily, you would want it below. So you would want the markets to pull it up, but then when the markets are closed, you would want it to close a little bit below 55.60. But you know that the Bugamas are going to change in about 3 hours, right? This is going to change in 3 hours. We're going to refresh this in 3 hours. So it's also about how the Bugamas changed that will tell us the movement too. But as of right now, this should pull towards 55.60 and the markets should close a little bit off of 55.60. It should pull it towards 55.60. And so like a perfect thing would be, this would, if I was going to scalp S&P, I would TP at 55.60. Stop the music. But at the end of the day, Christy, try it. And remember what happens. If it works out, awesome. Try and remember all the things that you want to repeat next time. If it doesn't work, try and figure out what you want to do differently next time. And that's the real juice. Do you want to focus on the specific profits of the potential short or a long that you might have today or tomorrow? Or do you want to talk about the ability to juice up on patterns like this hundreds and thousands of times? So don't get so caught up in, hey, did I do the right thing? Did I juice? Did I lose a little bit of money on this one particular trade? Don't do that. It's about, because Christy, you're going to have very similar setups like this hundreds and thousands of times. So it's about using this one time to learn and be prepared for the next thousands. Make sense? So just focus on extracting as much value and data as you can. That's the real juice, right? And if it happens that you make a little bit of money, awesome, so be it. But if you take a little bit of an L, not that big of a deal too. Because I don't want you to hear my opinion and not try it, you know? So I'm rooting for you. But my biggest sort of comment or criticism would be just be careful. And what you did right there, Christy, is you found good confluence on the levels, right? Golden Pocket, Bugama, you have S&P confluence. I like that. But that you've only still identified a level of interest, okay? So let me give you a curveball. The open interest on Bitcoin looks bearish. However, S&P does not look bearish. What do you do? Which one do you prioritize? You see what I'm saying? So you're still going to want to need to know edge, and you're going to have to start figuring out what if all the edge isn't perfect. So any questions, ladies and gentlemen? What you guys think about all this, man?
Latuche, motherfucker, the math is the math.
So there's a couple of, I don't really scalp.
I said, are you strong?
You know,
I'm strong if you strong.
there are levels of interest where if you're looking to get back into a long, whether you're looking to get back into a short, there are opportunities. We can all see where the TPO point of control is. Everybody see where the TPO point of control is? Everybody knows where the value area low is volume-wise, right? So if, for example, you want, and I'm not saying this is a good trade, but I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to long, right, and you're looking at edge, I'm not going to really go over too much edge stuff, but let's say that you see the TPO point of control right there, your volume node is right there. So if you are going to want to try and long this, at least you know that you gotta, even if you get back out, you gotta get right back in this bitch. You know, that's your value, that's your TPO control. So you might be thinking, oh, I want to get really cute and get that pixel perfect bottom TPO long. Okay, but regardless of whether you're going to put blind limits there or you want to long there, we can all agree, hey, the longer that you take time outside of this value area low, you lose your bullish edge. You know, so some people are going to be like, yo, I want that pixel perfect entry. I'm going to put blind limits there, stop loss right here. Okay. Or there's going to be motherfuckers that say, okay, that's your value area low. I'm going to wait for that to happen. As soon as it comes back in and it doesn't look like a bearish retest, I'll enter right there. And that will be my stop loss. And so that guy is maintaining a little bit better edge than the guy that's putting blind limits there. But that guy's stop loss is this. You might have a worse entry, but your risk is better. I rather sacrifice 200, 300, 400, 500 bucks on the entry, but have a 10% higher probability that my trade is going to win. And I'm not, hey, nobody better be putting in blind limits right there. I'm not saying that's a long, by the way. It's just an example of risk management. Lord have mercy. Someone gonna show up later. What happened to that long, bro? I saw you drawing a long, bro. What the fuck? Take me off mute. Do you remember when we were talking about, the longer that you spend below here, the higher probability you have to, so there, like, I wouldn't ever say that you should get in right there, but if you really, really wanted to, there's always a time and place to be like, fuck it. What was the retrace on this? Was it 3? So if you really, really, really wanted to get into a short, you would have done this, I think. That's the net, and maybe you're filled a little bit. And then when that makes a lower low, you're going to put your stop loss at break even. But you're going to go with things like what we were talking about. The longer that you spend below point of control, or the faster you don't get right back above it, that's just math. So it's all good, big boy. Yeah, but even though you didn't get to make whatever money it was, brother, what you just kind of picked up on maybe is gonna make you never miss out on it, or it's gonna save you from losing money. So you're good. Even though you missed the short, watch the bulls like fuck up their longs or something. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Never that. Never that.
Not enough Latushi.
But look, now the pressure's on bulls, huh? We're going to see if they're going to be able to hold levels. Do you remember what level I'm looking at, brother? Do you remember what I said about this red line right here earlier? So in the end, it's a little bit of a bummer that you're not in the short, but you know, hey, like you said, on to the next one, big boy. Hey, I'm going to be here. Stream is going to keep going until like 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m. And I'm going to drop as much juicy alpha TA as I can before I go to sleep. And then I'll see you guys for US Market Open. And then I'm shutting down the stream for the weekend at market close tomorrow. Indo Lion says, can I win home run TA? You can ask me for free, brother. What do you want to talk about? You're asking me where's the next home run, long or short? Is that what you mean? Fuck, let's talk about it together. I'm kicking it with you guys for like another 6-7 hours. So I got some work shit I got to keep an eye on. I got work email stuff. Prox1 says, okay, real quick, Prox1, you are caught up on everything that we have already talked about thus far, correct? As long as, is everybody caught up on everything? Exclamation rewind, you got caught up on everything? Because we're about to juice the fuck up. And if you, again, it doesn't matter what I think or what I said, but, it could be the one thing that you didn't hear that might fuck you up. I'm not in a, there's a couple of things that have gone on. On Monday, Tuesday, we talked about TPs here. I got live TP. Did you at least see the live TP? Iruzi says you deleted that blue line and now folks can't. You mean this one? Hey, where's that motherfucker? Where's that guy that was like, delete it? And then do you remember when I said, well, you're going to want me to put it back on when you want to do a bearish retest? Delete it! Real case, were you here when I said, yeah, but you're going to be asking me to put it back on to make sure it's a bearish retest? How many of y'all heard that earlier in the day? Put that shit back. Don't let it go up higher. Put that shit back right now. But yeah, goofy shit though, right? How many of y'all were here when Alpeasy was straight up asking me where like my stop losses would start and whatnot? You guys remember that conversation? Okay, so y'all know what it is, right? And you guys are also mature and strong of a lion to understand that it doesn't matter what I say, you should do what you believe is correct. You missed it, went to sleep, exclamation, rewind though. Okay, especially if it does what I'm anticipating, or I think what y'all can see right in front of you that I'm anticipating. Don't be asking me shit like as it's happening. Hey, real quick, G, can you give me a recap? Real quick, give me a recap. Come on, man, give me a free recap. I gotta be doing my own thing. But we had live TPs. That was pretty cool, right? How many of y'all, was it loud enough? And it's quick, right? Hey, pixel perfect, 56.6 and 56,000 TP. How many of y'all remember when I was talking about, hey, when I go to the gym or I'm going to be going to sleep or doing whatever, I'm going to set my alarm for 56.1. I don't know how many of you guys were here earlier when you heard me say I'm going to actually delete it now because I'm here to be able to see it live. So like you guys remember all that shit? It doesn't matter if you remember it or if you remember hearing me say it or whatever, you know. And it doesn't, all I'm emphasizing with that is just kind of basic ideas and concepts, you know, on what levels would interest me and how I would. So theoretically, let's say that I was in Hawaii, right? Theoretically, if have you guys done to like Road to Hana? Hey, you know that bitch has zero reception. Zero. So if I needed to go stay on the west side of Maui or whatever, you know, maybe camp up at the peak, you know, do some like romantic, you know, camping out at the waterfalls type of shit. I could have set alerts for 50, you know, my 56.1 alert, right? And, you know, I wouldn't have really needed to watch the charts or anything. But as soon as that broke, yeah, we could have done a little thangity thing. So, real case, Prox1, Berbeezy, J Nog, G Jones, Elamella Indo, 777 Isho. Shadow Dancer, Toss, Berbeezy, Ethan. Anyways, how you guys doing? Some of y'all put blind limits down here, huh? Okay, motherfucker, okay. How many turns? 700, enough to get you nauseous if you you know, fucking around. Satoshi Snatcher says, are we going to Golden Pocket? Maybe. But whether we do or not, does it change the fact that you need to have a plan for it? So if I said no, or if you didn't think we were going to go there, it means you don't need to have a plan. So just make sure you have a plan. What if it did come all the way back down here? What would make you long that? Think about it now. So if it does give you that opportunity, you are prepared. Opportunity meeting preparation equals juice. What if it does this? Would you try to short that? You might be looking at something like this. You might be somebody that says, fuck, dude, I have seen a whole bunch of swing fail patterns where it's like, if it gets up there, I should just market smash this bitch at that sweep level and my stop loss here. And I shouldn't really try to get cute, like waiting for the 382 or the golden pocket or the 786 or the 75. Because I've seen enough where if it does go hit that, then it's going to do that anyways. But yeah, and then you might be thinking, okay, well, what the fuck is up with that? That's going to get swept. So maybe for a short, you're waiting for that to get swept, and you're going to wait to make sure that the thing closes back inside, just like that. Nuitari says, can I ask why we check the same type of graphs from different exchanges? You're going to notice that Coinbase Spot is a little bit different from Binance Futures. And those two are a little bit different from CME. So it's just the luxury of having the ability to look at all of it. And sometimes you're going to notice a pattern where maybe CME sweeps, but derivatives and Coinbase don't. Or derivatives sweep, but Coinbase doesn't, and CME doesn't. And you can start to pick up on different patterns, Nuitari. All right, you guys control the music. I'll be right back. Market makers, don't do it. Market makers, don't do it. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.